Hello and welcome back to Dialects for Heroclix. I'm your sexy ranch hand co-host, Calder and Simeon. This episode, we're going to be talking about X-Men Rise and Fall, and knowing everything in the set, we're going to talk about some Connellys that were spoiled by Paradise Clix, and we have a little information about the Empyre set, and we'll answer some listener questions. This is episode 364. Howdy, howdy, let's get rowdy.
So if you're looking for emotional satisfaction, my advice to you is seek professional...
Heroclix?
No.
Are you serious? Again? How many people even play this game? Like 100? Instant deadpan humor.
Over six people think I am funny.
It's a hard day's work. Not that you know anything about that. Which...
Absolute fools, it's not.
Witcher nonsense.
I'm gonna make Heroclix like that forever. Are you kidding me?
Hey Google, attack symbol.
Let's attack Simeon because he's a jerk.
Wow. Dialects for Heroclix is brought to you by CoolStuffInc.com, where you can find cool stuff in stock every day, including all the latest Heroclix singles and sealed products. Make sure you check them out at CoolStuffInc.com. Joining me, like always, in the studio is your Dialects for Heroclix champion, Billion Clicks Bruce. What's going on, Simeon?
Yeah, so Falcon plays a robot, right? Follow me there. He plays a robot, except he wants to nuke the U.S. Yeah.
The Falcon plays a robot, except he wants to nuke the US. Are you like Anthony Mackie, the Falcon? What are we?
Right. Yeah. The Falcon. Yeah.
Okay.
Captain America.
Yeah.
Wants
Okay,
to
so I'm
nuke
with you. He plays a
the US.
robot.
Spoilers.
Or he wants to nuke the U.S.
So it's part of the movie that they made after Winter Soldier was Falcon and the Winter Soldier. After that was done shooting, they did a what if universe where he becomes a robot and he's in the future. It's called Outside the Wire. It's on Netflix. It's got 5.4 stars out of 10.
So you mean it's some random Netflix show that also stars Anthony Mackie?
Wow.
Cool.
Wow.
Nifty.
No, you know what is interesting? I unwittingly watched 2 movies with Anthony Mackie this weekend. So I watched Outside the Wire, which it's got 5.4 on IMDb, actually pretty solid. Not like, I'm not going to say, it's like mind blowing or anything, but pretty dang solid. And then I can't remember the of the other one. He barely plays a character in the other one, but you know who else is in it? Good old
Is it Eminem?
Russell. Not Russell.
Oh.
Is it?
Oh, Rusty. Yeah.
Russell,
Kid from
the kid.
X-Men. From
No.
Deadpool 2.
No.
Deadpool 2.
No,
No?
Kurt Russell's kid.
Oh, Wyatt Russell.
Yeah, he's in it. He's like a main dude. And then Anthony Mackie is that right? Anthony Mackie. He's a background character that doesn't really do a whole lot. He's mostly like in phone calls. But I was like, very strange how 2 people from, the TV show are on this movie. Very strange.
That's pretty cool. That's actually pretty neat. I didn't know much about Wyatt Russell's acting career, I guess. So it's pretty sweet. It's funny.
I wish I could remember
it's
the
weird
name of
that
the
they
movie because it's
associate
real
them
messed up,
together.
but it's
Oh.
it almost has nothing to do with Anthony Mackie, and even I'll say it has almost nothing to do with Wyatt Russell, and even less to do with Anthony Mackie.
That's a shame.
But still a very interesting and messed up movie. So there's that.
So that's Simeon's accidental Mackie movie. Very sweet, man. Is that what made you happy this week? Watching some Mackie movies?
No, I just really wanted to
Happenstance?
slip that in because that was
It's a good thing to get slipped in, though.
that's what I spent the most of my weekend doing, was watching those 2 movies. And now I'm here sitting on IMDb really trying to figure out what the heck is that name of the movie, because man, it's just not a good movie to remember, I guess, name wise. Shelter Is that the name of it? Playing It Cool? Is that
This is
the name of
some
it?
crime podcast content right here. I really big fan of this.
The night
really big fan of
before?
this.
Is that the nope? What made me happy this week was you've seen me and Calder play on Tabletop Simulator. You know we prefer it. That's the way that we like to play. We kind of grumble and groan whenever we're not playing on it.
True.
But finally, even though it's been updated for a while, I finally downloaded the re-updated version of the Tabletop Simulator Heroclix, the workshop Heroclix project. And in doing so, I found a Discord that's got a bunch of cool people on it. Although I've only met one, so I'll just say they're all cool. But Andre MSAL, I don't know what the actual name is, sadly. But he's from Portugal. He's been doing a ton of work. They took over for the original dude who has been AFK as far as we know. He's just gone from the game. He hasn't been updating or anything, hasn't been responding. They took over and they've been continuing to do updates. Originally it was up to like JLU and missing some indie stuff. They filled in with, what was it? I think they did Pacific Rim. They did a couple of like Iron Maiden, some of the indie sets.
Yeah.
And then they've gotten us updated to House of X, and they're working forwards from there. So I played a game with him, and there's like an 8-hour-ish disparity between the two of us. So I was playing early in the morning, he was playing in the evening, but it was a really fun time. I played a Brotherhood team. Just, I played all Dark Phoenix Saga stuff. So I played the Sabretooth, Blob, Pyro, and Magneto. Is that right? No,
Ooh.
not Pyro. I played Sabretooth, Blob, Magneto, and Rogue. And then I grabbed, he actually grabbed them for me, some bystanders from like Days of Future Past that were, it was like a horde token thing that had really cheap Empower. So it was like 8 points for Empower. And then when they were horde tokened, you could use Mastermind to target them. Really
are
fun.
those like the anti-mutant
Yes.
protesters?
Yeah.
Yeah, I got a couple of those. We hate muties sign. I love it.
They were pretty good. Sadly, so he was playing I think it was Wolverine the X-Men Dark Phoenix, which is the single-based like Rachel Summers one or something. He was playing a Uncanny X-Men Cyclops, and then I can't remember which set it was Uncanny X-Men Wolverine, and then I can't remember which set the Cyclops was from, but it was a Cyclops that could see through hindering and had a leadership within like his range, which is 8 squares. So it might have been Avengers vs. X-Men. I can't remember exactly. But yeah, it was just a really fun game. He pulse waved and killed my 2 bystanders pretty quick. At one point, Blob was up to like 3 of his immobile tokens.
Yeah.
So he was like at a 19 defense, and he still like lucked out and hit it a few times. Of course, Pulse Wave also helped him dealing like 1 damage at a time. But it was really interesting. He showed me a lot of cool stuff. There's also there's some 3D models with actual like animations built into them, so they can like feint, they can like make an attack, they can take damage. Those kind of like effects. Those are fun.
Like that Star Wars chess game.
Yeah,
like that.
when the big like whatever. The big monster thing like walks up and then gets like hit and just like falls over and crumbles into clay. It was like that, except nothing like crumbled because it was digitally rendered. But no,
right.
It was a really fun time, and I'll be uploading a video here in a few days of how to join Tabletop Simulator, find this Discord, all that stuff. Of course, the main barrier to entry with Tabletop Simulator, because it is so simple to understand and play, the main barrier is that it usually costs like $10 when it's on sale. It's at $20 today, but when it goes on sale, it's usually like $10. So if you're not willing to pay, then it's just not for you. But I think it's a really good investment because there's a ton of games on there to play.
I'll say this. If you have a group of buddies that you normally play with, or you want to play with some people all around the world, want to do battle royales and stuff like that, It's 1,000 times more fun than Roll20. If you purely just want to do it to have fun, yeah, sure. If you want to play all the whatever competitive stuff and all that jazz, Roll20 is just going to be the default. But if you want to have fun playing Heroclix online, this is the way to do it.
Yeah. If you want a more realistic Heroclix experience, like if you're still stuck, and so that's this guy's thing. Not only is he playing in Portugal, he is the only person in Portugal in his like area that plays. So this is his only option. If you're one of those people where your only option is online play, and you're more on like the casual side, Tabletop Simulator just like scratches that itch way better than Roll20. Not only do the maps actually have terrain, it's like, oh, I'm not hiding in green, I'm hiding in bush or behind desk or chair.
Exactly.
Or, like, I'm actually, there's actual like printed terrain that I'm hiding on. But yeah, other than that, the actual, it's close to like an actual physical, like holding dice. You know, if you've watched any of our Thursday Throwdown videos, you've seen us like shake them and throw them and stuff like that. There's all that. There's a few tips and tricks that I picked up this week on how to like play it better, because me and Calder have just been kind of winging it.
Here's the thing. We've put in, 50 hours of it, and you think like, oh, they probably know everything about it. We're like, nah, we pretty much got a base understanding, and then we just sort of rolled with what we knew type of deal. We weren't like doing research into it, and especially not like these guys who went into the files and I don't know what they actually did, but you know what I mean? Like they added to the mod itself.
I mean,
so they know
they
more
clearly
about
have coding knowledge.
nerds.
Yeah.
They
know
exactly.
computer real well.
Yeah, and that ain't us, bruh. That ain't, we don't know, we don't do that technology computer jazz all that well. Simeon's slightly better than me. But yeah, so they've clearly tinkered with it way more. So they have a better understanding of tips and tricks and how to make it smoother and all that jazz. So it's pretty cool. No, I'm glad that you did this. That way we can make our Thursday Throwdown videos look even better and have more fun playing on Tabletop Simulator.
Yeah.
And I really hope everybody hearing this, at least will go check it out, because it's sweet.
Yeah.
You don't know what Tabletop Simulator is, by the way, guys? It's a game on Steam, so you'll need to download the Steam app. If you're a gamer, you already have Steam downloaded. But if you're not, Steam is free. Download Steam. $10 on sale. Honestly, worth the $20, in my opinion.
It comes with so
I didn't
many
pay
free
20
games
for
like
it. I paid 10. But
yeah.
it's seriously, you can play every single tabletop game ever on it.
Yeah.
And if our Patreon starts kicking off, like just now, we just played a round of Bad Samaritan, which was a ton of fun. If we get enough people to get Tabletop Simulator, we would totally do like, games and stuff on there, which would be really fun.
I could see like hosting like a poker night once a month or something like that.
Yeah, easy stuff like that too. Yeah.
If you're into Pokemon, they've got not just like Pokemon maps, but also Pokemon sprites. So like actual like 3D, like not the like 2D representations that we have of Heroclix, but actual like 3D rendered Pokemon. There's one workshop that you'd have to message the show if you really want to know, because it's not what I'm into. But there's a free download basically to add on to Tabletop Simulator that lets you build whatever your Pokemon team is, and it's got like Gen 1 through 8 or whatever they're up to. I have no clue. But just looking through the Gen 1 stuff, there was like 12 Pikachus, because each one had a different hat. And I was like, wow, whoever did this had way more time invested than I ever would.
Wow.
But I really appreciate the guys for doing that. If you want more information, we'll be uploading a video on how to Tabletop Simulator, although the how-to is mostly how to download it and get the Heroclix part, because honestly, Tabletop Simulator is real straightforward. You highlight and roll dice, you highlight and pick up stuff. And their Discord's not small. I think they've got like 16, 17 people on it, so there's always people around to play a game, and they're a really casual group, so if you're into casual play, which I assume you are if you're doing Tabletop Simulator over Roll20, it's a really good group to get into. It's a really good
and like way to... honestly, if like unlike Roll20, if you just like sit in there and like by yourself and just sort of look around and mess with things, you'll figure it out. Unlike Roll20, where it's like You have to know these things. You can't just sort of mess around. Like, it's clear. Like, oh, there's boosters over there. I'll click on a booster. Oh, cool. I can pull figures out. Like, it's just easier to understand without even watching like a video or anything necessarily. But like, yeah, totally. Like unlike Roll 20, where it's like, I guess I'm in a room. It's all white. What's going on?
Roll 20 is fine for a lot of things, but again,
I mean, it's okay, I guess.
For
overrated
$10, you're not only getting in my opinion, a much better simulation of Heroclix, of like sitting across from the table of somebody playing Heroclix, but you're also getting access to, dice, poker, I don't know. You can literally just open up a tab in Tabletop Simulator with dice, or not dice, coins, and just flip coins. I did that for way too long one day. It was very strange.
Oh, that's sad. You make me sad, Simeon.
I just really liked the physics of it, and I was just like flipping dice, and then I learned you could like flip them and flick them, and so you could just like launch quarters across the table.
You worry me. You worry me sometimes.
But yeah, that's enough of Tabletop Simulator talk.
Yeah, we talked for about 20 minutes on that. Wow. Okay.
And yet
so I'll be
there's still things to talk about. Mario Kart Monopoly.
Let's not, though.
Beautiful.
Let's not,
I haven't played it yet.
I will take this time to publicly say on the podcast, I'm not a Nintendo fan. I do not like Mario Kart, but my hatred for Monopoly it's much higher than that. So I would play it for sure. Anyways, what made me happy this week? Well, I'm glad no one asked, but I'm going to say it anyways. Same thing that sort of made Simeon happy last week, which was graduation parties. I'm legally obligated to say that, as I went to a friend of mine's and my sister's graduation this weekend. And so if I didn't mention them, I would be in trouble. But yeah, cool. Graduation party. Sure were neat. Although the most important thing was that I finally got an action figure that I pre-ordered like a year ago. And I'm playing with it right now. I mean, it's so dope. I got a JoJo's Bizarre Adventure action statue, old Joseph Joestar from Part 3. And normally these like JoJo figures cost like over $200 something. But now that they're remaking like a lot of them, since the series is popular or more popular now, I can get them for like only $100, which is, believe it or not, a steal for these kinds of action figures when you look at them in like comparable prices. So yeah, I picked up yellow shirt, safari hat Joseph Joestar, and it's a great figure. It's so awesome. But now I'm legally obligated to say I had the most fun this week at a graduation party, but also I really like this action figure, and I pre-ordered it like a year ago, and I'm so happy it finally got here. You have no idea. But no, I totally had the most fun, without a doubt, at the graduation party. Sure. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, let's go ahead and get into the news. Like that. Good save. They'll totally think I had way more fun at the graduation party than doing anything else.
Not gonna even say like what your sister graduated from, or how, or
Oh yeah, I guess we could mention that. Yeah, sorry. She graduated from actually a college in Nebraska. She's a vet tech, a veterinary. Yeah.
Yes, the news.
That's
what called her.
Rise and fall. When things go up, they must come down. Usually, that's what WizKids thought. They said, "Hey, House of X existed. It went up in went in a direction. It should come back down in the form of X-Men Rise and Fall." Simeon, we got to see all sorts of stuff. Actually, we got to see the entire set list, as well as the Fast Forces dials, the LE Deadpool Cake Pool dial, and a few other cool Rise and Fall things. So I'm excited. Because, actually, do you have a picture of every single figure of Rise and Fall? I believe we have that on our Facebook. Yes, we do.
So the
poster look at this. So
for it is
you want to read us
this
beautiful set list? Ooh.
Oh, sure.
Yeah. Speed run it. Yeah, speed run the set list if you could.
So 001 is Wolverine. Number 2 is, I'm not going to do the numbers.
Yeah,
we've
please
got Wolverine.
That would take so long.
Darwin, Marvel Girl, Warpath. Gosh, I don't know why I forgot that one. Havoc, Hellfire Club Guard. Very cool. I actually, after Wonder Woman, I feel I feel disappointed seeing the next set after Wonder Woman not having 6 generics in the common slot.
Right.
But it is what it is. We've got 3, I think, 3 figures that you're going to want multiples of in the common slot. So we've got Hellfire Club Guard. We've got Multiple Man, which of course might as well be a generic because you need multiples. We've got Sentinel. We've got Shi'ar Soldier. We've got a new Raza. We've got Impulse. So these are all Starjammers. We've got Smasher, who is Shi'ar Guard. We've got Colossus, who is an X-Man. We have Brood, who is a Brood. We've got Blob. We've got Skinless Man. First time ever being clixed Skinless Man. So, of course, the Skinless Assassins were part of House of X, but Skinless Man himself is, I want to say, a Phantom X villain, but I don't really follow Skinless Man. We've got Sabretooth doing the exact same thing he always does. We've got Eric the Red. Not sure if he's ever been clixed before, but it definitely hasn't been done in like at least the last 6-7 years. Maybe Uncanny X-Men had one, I don't remember. We've got Cyclops. Who cares? We've got Silver Samurai making his big return, hopefully.
Ooh.
We've got Arclight. Mystique. This is the black outfit, like the black leather Mystique. We've got Longshot and his classic Wolverine in the X-Men pose, I believe. Maybe it's an older pose than that. I don't know. We've got Dr. Moira McTaggart in a very strange outfit that I don't remember. We've got Banshee doing a flyby, sitting like an inch off, not even.
Yeah, he's
like
like
a quarter
flying,
inch off the
actually.
base. But he's like,
it's sort of neat.
Completely horizontal. We've got Polaris. We've got Magneto, the big old cross arms, angry with you, Magneto. We've got Professor X with use of legs, which I think Avengers vs. X-Men was the last time we had Professor X standing. Unless you include the newest Professor X, which may or may not be the actual Professor X. We've got a new Callisto. We've got Brew. We've got X-23. We've got Corsair again. Iceman. Yes. A new Sebastian Shaw, which I'm assuming... Let's see. I'm assuming around Magneto we've entered the rare territory. So Sebastian Shaw, I'm guessing, is a rare... Maybe Corsair's the first rare. I don't really know. We get a new Lalandra, whatever her last name is. We get a new Kid Gladiator. We had one in Xavier
XXS.
School. Yeah. X-Men Xavier School. We get a new Hipzibah, another Starjammer. We get a new Blink, which has been a very hot minute since we had one of those. We get a new Exodus on a single base. We get Malice, looking extremely similar to Uncanny X-Men Malice. We get Carmella, whatever her last name is.
Ooh, Carmella's one of my favorite wrestlers.
She's one of the last acolytes that we didn't get in X-Men Dark Phoenix. So I assume the only reason she's here is to fill out that slot. We get Destiny, which, man, when was the last time we had Destiny?
Was it like Days of Future Past? Would be
It
the
was
last time?
A while ago.
A while ago.
But yeah, assume some prob and a trait, and who knows what else. We've got Omega Red followed up by Omega Red. So
now this is actually cool.
Yeah.
Because Omega Red hasn't been in since a long time. GSX, maybe? Because he wasn't in Wolverine and the X-Men, right?
I've got the really cool sculpt where he's on the Sentinel. He's standing like on the Sentinel.
Yeah.
Man, what set was that?
Seriously, it's been a long time since we got an Omega Red. And he, by the way, looks ginormous compared to
We had
Destiny,
one in Uncanny
right next to
X-Men,
him.
but it was sadly like really...
Did it really?
lame. The one I have is from Mutations and Monsters. His tentacles are like really wide, and he's standing on a piece of...
been like 6 years.
Yeah. And now that we've got two, so one's a prime, one's not, I don't know what the difference in outfits are. I know the non-prime is like the very classic...
Well, you see, the prime is, black. So that's cool. Same thing with Beast. He's also black. And then, well, sorry, I don't want to skip too far forward. That's rude of me.
I assume it's different teams, but I don't remember
Yeah.
what team Omega Red joined. We've got another Mr.
Omega
Sinister,
Black.
classic drapey cape, Mr. Sinister. We've got a
Yes.
Tempo Shadow King, which we haven't had this particular type sculpt since Wolverine and the X-Men. We've got a classic Beast, classic-ish Beast, and then we've got Dark Beast from Age of Apocalypse as the Prime. Assuming that's the Prime, because that's the only one that makes sense. And this is the set with two rare primes, two super rare primes, no common or uncommon. We've got Warstar with good old little bee knee up on his shoulders. And then, my favorite.
Oh, I do. We've got like how close you got to your mic there.
We've got Dakin making his big return since I think Web of Spider-Man. Yeah.
Wow.
Wow. Boy. I hope I am not disappointed by this Dakin, although I feel like I will be. I'm just glad that he's on terrain. That's, to be honest. Dakin's cool. We've got Chode, or whatever his name is.
Once
He's
again,
a Star
Chod.
Yep.
Chod.
Emperor Vulcan, which we just got one. So
wait a second, I've seen this one before.
Really? We've got Deathbird. We've got Emma Frost. We've got, who is that?
Pyro?
Dicon. It's
Dicon.
Deathbird or Lalandra's brother, whoever that guy is. We've got Blackheart, which, to be honest, is the weirdest inclusion in this set so far. I don't follow X-Men super close, but I don't remember Blackheart being like their dude. So that's strange. But he's here. So we've got that.
Cool.
We've got Corvus, the good old Shi'ar with, I think it's the Phoenix Blade, but I can't remember. Last sculpted in Wolverine and the X-Men. So that's also cool. We've got Brood Queen to go along with the Brood. We've got Angel with his metallic wings. This is like the what?
Archangel-y.
The Apocalypse Seed Angel. The Razor Blade Wing Angel. We've got Gladiator 1, Emperor Gladiator, who is just the same except in a black cape instead of red. Cool. We've got a super rare. So these are the super rares, of course, at some point in this. I'm assuming it starts around Blackheart, maybe Dicon, whatever that guy's name is. But for sure, Dicon. Gladiator is the super rare and super rare prime.
Oh,
and
definitely.
We've got the other Mystique in the set, which is the classic white outfit. We've got Mimic in his yellow and blue outfit. And then we've got Mimic in his blue outfit. We've got, so that's the other super rare prime. We've got Apocalypse, which this is the X of Swords Apocalypse.
With the next one, we've entered Chase territory, I assume, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So,
all right.
Chases start with, most of these are, what are they called? Warp World?
Warp World!
Crosses. So, Hex 23, that is a cross between, of course, Scarlet Witch and X-23. Diamond Patch, that is a cross between Wolverine and Emma Frost. Seems like it's worse than both, though, because I was reading a little bit about Diamond Patch, and he has to stab people to read their minds. So it seems...
That's a lot more work than normal.
We've got Hellhound, which looks to be a cross between... what's her name? Colossus' sister. Magic, yes.
And Wolfbane is my guess, with the Hound part.
That makes sense. Speed Weasel, who is a cross between not it's not a cross between Quicksilver, but it's like one of Scarlet Witch's kids.
Oh, you mean Speed?
With someone else.
Is he crossed with like Deadpool's friend Weasel? Is that
probably not? It's probably someone
that would
better
be
than
weird.
That.
Like someone with powers, at least, right? Like
most likely. We've got Deathstreak, which is just Lady Deathstrike and Mystique. Cool. We've got Deadpool, who is Deadpool and Deadpool.
Yeah, that sounds dumb.
Firebelly. Some of these, I looked up some of these, and they literally have like 1 or 2 pages and 0 character development. So
awesome.
Firebelly is one of those. Firebelly is a cross between Pyro and Toad.
And Toad? Wow,
and he literally is just a worse version of either Toad or Pyro. He breathes fire, and that's his whole thing. And then lastly, we have, what is this guy? Herbert Blackheart Wyndham, who is just a cross between the High Evolutionary and Blackheart, which is cool. And then, of course, the Ultra Chase Deadpool coming out of the pink cake. And then the blue cake Deadpool, which will be part of the OP kit with the map. Yeah. And that is the entire set list.
So now that I know the entire set list, I get to confidently say I don't have to buy any of this trash. Boy, am I excited. Another X-Men set that I will be able to skip. There is one figure I want from it, that being Warpath. And then, of course, if their dials seem fun, I might pick some minis up on the side. But yeah. I get to confidently say, being the Muty hater I am, I get to skip this set because a lot of it is the same garbage from House of X, and it ain't look that interesting. So, cool. Simeon, what's the standout stuff for you in this set? I know you liked Dakin, or Dakin, as a normal person would say. Omega Red, I imagine you're excited for.
Yeah.
What's popping off for you as the X-Men guy?
I mean, those are the big two. So, Omega Red being one of Wolverine's most dangerous villains, if you will. In my mind, a better villain than Sabretooth hardly ever was.
I kind of agree, though.
Yeah, just way more interesting. Carbonadium tentacles that can drain life force. And Sabretooth's like, I scratch you a lot. I scratch. It's like, that's great, Sabretooth, but turns out I heal from scratches, so...
Well, it's sort of like, is it fun watching two people with the same powers beat up on each other? Not really. Yeah. Not really. Like Omega Red,
without
sweet.
At least 90% of this set, the determining factor will be dials for me. So is Silver Samurai a good dial, or at least interesting enough where I want it? Is Brood Queen more than just like on a leadership role of 4 through 6, bring in a brood? Is Skinless Man anything interesting? Because Skinless Man is cool in the Phantom X comics, but do I actually need one if he doesn't do a whole lot? And again, this set is still under benched powers, so we won't be seeing Invincible, Perplex, Super Strength. We won't be seeing Shape Change, all of that fun stuff. It might be Wonder Woman. So like how we saw Wonder Woman with like some dials that were just kind of blank. If I see that on a couple of these dials that I actually want the character, it's going to be a definite pass for me. I might get them just for the sculpt, just for like the modernization. I would like both versions of Mimic. The chases, I can probably pass on unless they have some really cool gimmick, but I just, as far as like Firebelly literally having almost zero comic presence, what could they possibly do? Like energy explosion, poison, something like leap climb? I don't know. What could they possibly do with Firebelly to make him interesting to me?
It is a little strange. I mean, I lucked out. I know when we first heard of this set and I saw Weapon Hex, I knew that there was a Soldier Supreme, Stephen Strange, Steve Rogers mix in Warp World. But it looks like they still haven't totally lifted, with this set anyways, an X-Men, Avengers, Spider-Man, whatever crossover ban. So I got lucky, and I don't have to buy a brick.
Yeah, we're waiting
or a case or whatever just to try to get trade fodder.
Split that stuff.
Yeah, before we can maybe say the rest of the Warp World might be chases. If not, it's whatever. It's cool. But yeah, no, I just get to skip Rise and Fall. And like Rally's a nifty idea. But like, don't buy your set because it's nifty. Buy it because it's got characters I want.
And depending on how this multiple man works, if he works like the older, like the Wolverine and the X-Men multiple man, or the, giant size X-Men multiple man, where he can actually bring in dialed characters of himself, I'll want a lot of those. So the multiple man's a big want, and multiples depending on what he does. Carmella just to finish out that whole team. Destiny just because she hasn't been clixed in a while. probably both versions of Omega Red because we're guaranteed that one is decent. Probably Shadow King.
That'd be nice to think.
Dark Beast is cool, but until I get X-Man, why do I want Dark Beast? Dakin for sure.
Dakin.
Yep, Dakin.
Sure.
I don't know.
I really don't know. Yeah.
There's a lot of potential to be had in this set. It just depends on what the dials say. And as of right now, I think the only thing that I'm really truly sold on in this set is Birthday Cake Deadpool.
Hey, it's a good one. It's a good one. Hey, you know what? Speaking of Birthday Cake Deadpool, we do have his dial. Let me just go into it really quick, guys. He's 60 points. He's a team player. He's X-Men. 6 range, 1 bolt, no other special combat symbols. He's improved movement. He ignores characters. He's got Assassin, Deadpool Core, Thunderbolts, Weapon X, X-Force, and X-Men. He's 5 clicks long. He's got a whole dial of prob. Top click is stealth. The rest of his clicks are charge. 2 clicks of energy explosion. The last 3 are going to be quake. 2 clicks of combat reflexes, and the last 3 are regeneration. So, I mean, if he regens on 4 and 3s, pretty much he's going up, going top, baby. And he's got 2 traits. First one is got everyone goodie bags. At the beginning of the game, give each friendly character a goodie bag token and then roll a d6. This game, friendly characters have the listed effect. So this is pretty neat. If you get lucky, it is. 1 to 2 balloons, free, remove a goodie bag token to gain flight this turn. So that can be pretty huge if you're on an outdoor map and they barrier or, something like terrain's in your way, or just, you're Wolverine, you don't have the movement, fly. It's pretty cool. 3 through 4 is cake. Remove a goodie bag to heal 2 clicks. That's just arguably the best. And then 5 through 6 is illegal weapons. Free. Remove a goodie bag. And modify damage +1 this turn. Man. If you got really lucky, I think obviously cake and illegal weapons are the best ones. Personally, cake is the best, like it normally is. Let's be real here. Depends on the party. But yeah, balloons are cool. But I think they're all fun. They're all sweet. And for 60 points, handing those out can be really good. And it can totally change the pace of a game. But it is very inconsistent. His second trait is katanas and pinatas. Blades, claws, fangs. When a friendly character KOs an opposing character, give them a goodie bag token. So they get more goodie bags when they kill somebody, which is pretty sweet. It reminds me of, I don't know if you ever read Dr. McNinja. Listener, if you haven't, it's free. It's online. It's one of the best comics.
That was like one of the original YouTube channels.
Dr. McNinja? I don't know about YouTube. That was, but it was one of the original comic.
Yeah, it was one of the original web.
Dr. McNinja was an original webcomic that had it would upload 3 pages every week or whatever. Anyways, there's a part in the comic where pirates always fight the ninjas, because that was a classic thing for a while, ninjas fighting pirates for whatever reason. So whenever the pirates would fight the ninjas, every time you killed a pirate, they can give you a present. It was so funny. It was like he would stab him with his sword and he'd be like, yeah, here, it's an N64. And he'd be like, oh, thanks. I'm like, what in the world? It's a pretty wacky comic. It's like Deadpool and Batman and ninja stuff all mixed together.
Like Axe
being
Cop
Irish.
Before Axe Cop was Axe Cop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess he actually crossed over with Axe Cop. But anyways,
yeah,
this Deadpool is really fun. I dig it. So if you want to have fun, and hey, I also really like this idea of giving away same Ultra Chase sculpt, a little different, with the blue cake and whatever, and the different word balloon.
Plus the base is huge.
And it's easy.
So it's not just an Oreo dial, it's a cake dial. Truly, the Oreo dial ends, and then there's more base below that, and that's really cool.
The Oreo dial ends where the cake begins.
Yeah, basically, an Oreo
and with
cake.
The colors, I don't know what part's cake and which part's Oreo anymore. But it's really Oreo if it's not black. That's the only reason we said they were Oreos.
I've seen mixed opinions on this, because it was like, Ultra Chase is supposed to feel special. How is it special if it's like anyone can buy the OP kit?
Got an extra copy of it.
And I'm like,
well, I mean, that's the thing, right? Hopefully the Ultra Chase is just way better.
Well, yeah. I mean, sure. Hopefully it's a lot different for sure. But also, the rarity is the rarity of this blue one will still it'll be like $10 at most. Whereas the rarity for the Ultra Chase will still be, way higher. So anyone
it does take a lot,
a collector,
but it takes a lot of the demand away. if I can just get a LE for $10, like if I only care about the sculpt, right, not what it does, the demand is gone.
If it was like Unicorn Deadpool and they had released it as like the LE, I probably would have never
garbage dial is trash.
Ultra Chase one. Yeah.
Yeah.
But he is a lot of fun.
I mean the dial is really lame. Stealth and energy explosion, it sucks. like the dial itself is so bad.
Yeah.
But the goodie bag thing is a neat idea, and I think it can be really fun, and it can add a lot of fun to your teams. So, and he just looks cool. He just adds a really cool, unique look to every team, which I dig.
We did see the dial. I think the new dials were for Wolverine and Sabretooth outside of the Fast Forces. They both have a rally die that's a 5. So we've already gone over rally, but just to reiterate, red is opposing attack rolls, blue is friendly attack rolls, and then green is all attack rolls. And basically, if you see that, if you like on the red or on the blue, if you see the attack and the roll matches the die that is on the rally trait, so 5 for both Wolverine, Colossus, and Sabretooth, you can place a die on one of these people per attack. So Wolverine, his rally trait gives him regen, and then he can use that 5 to replace his regen roll. It's before you roll, you can replace it. So basically, if he gets a 5, he has a once... Well, I would say once per game because he's got a short dial. He's got 5 clicks long. But you get a once use replace with a 5, so automatically a 3 regen roll. And then Sabretooth has that, except his is probably a little bit better for 15 points more. His replaces his Blades, Claws, Fangs roll. So he's rolling a 5 for Blades automatically with his rally. And his first 4 clicks have Exploit, so he's probably dealing some decent damage. His dial is kind of weird. It's Blades the whole dial. His trait doesn't give him Blades like Wolverine's gives him regen, but yeah, he goes Charge, Flurry, Stealth, regen bottom dial, and then Toughness the rest of his dial. He's a wonky character, but I think we've seen better Sabretooths, to be honest.
Yeah. Like at this one museum, I saw a skeleton of one that was pretty cool. It was way better than this thing.
Yeah, big old teeth.
Big old teeth. Anyways. So yeah, that's X-Men Rise and Fall. We're done talking about it because I don't want to talk about it anymore.
Let's get into salvage.
No, please let's not, though. No, but let's not. Let's please stop. All right, cool. Paradise Clix posted a picture. I don't know if we've seen this before. Like, I get a weird sense of deja vu, like that we've seen the box art for Spadash-Dash-Der before. Spider. Yeah. I don't know how to say it. It's Robot Spider-Man.
Sure.
Oh. And like, so we see that one. It's pretty cool. It's a kind of lanky looking mech as opposed to the steampunk one and the one we see in Spider-Verse, the movie, Like this one looks kind of stringy, I guess, is the way I would say it. Like he looks lean, It's very Evangelion if you've watched that, like where their joints are real thin. Like whenever I have a peanut butter sandwich, I put Magellan. Yeah? No?
That's unfortunate.
Okay, fine. We also get to see... I know we've seen the Spider-Man OP kit thing before with the Luke Cage, the Spider-Gwen, the Miles. And I know we saw the traffic cone for Plastic Man. But the other cool thing is this Punisher... the mailbox and everything. Yes, the fire hydrant. But the cool thing is this Punisher that has the Ant-Man Hank Pym helmet. And he's also kind of got like a gun with a big yellow blast coming out of it or something. Yeah, he's got a special gauntlet on. This was like literally one issue is that what it is? Of Punisher. He put on... I don't want to get into the whole backstory, but basically he's going up against the Hood. So he puts on Ant-Man's helmet, which whoever the writer was, like the helmet is what he uses to communicate with ants. That's not what communicate with ants. But whatever. He has like some sort of wrist gauntlet. They don't really explain. He has a shield. He has what's the third thing? I can't remember. It doesn't really matter. But yeah. So this Punisher, according to the comic, I've read it like a long time ago. He'll be able to shrink and shoot
like he normally can. I don't know like what'll be special about this Punisher because the Punisher can usually shoot, but he'll be able to shrink in addition to that.
Yo,
and he'll
if
have
we
a
can give
shield.
him like a Micron Atom trait so I don't have to play some DC losers when I play like a team that has, whatever, Alpha Strike. If I can do that, but instead with Punisher, I'm all for it, baby. I'm all about that life. For sure.
That's fair.
Anyways, we also get to see the box art for Cosmic Ghost Rider because we'd only ever seen a picture before, and people have paid a couple $1,000s for this Cosmic Ghost Rider before. Not a couple thousand, 1,000 something, a couple hundred. Anyways, yeah, someone who probably likes to put the hard R in things where it doesn't belong. You know what I mean? Oh, by that I mean Heroclix. That could be construed as something else. Heroclix. Specifically, he puts it in Heroclix.
No, it's funny to randomly insert expletives throughout for no reason. It's funny.
Yes.
Yes.
Anyways,
but yes, this
Cosmic Ghost Rider also apparently comes with Thanos, and not baby Thanos, but like a Thanos with the Punisher shirt on, and it's shooting lasers out of his eyes.
Yeah.
Very Thanos-y thing to do. Thanos is cosplaying this year, Simeon. I don't think you noticed this, but we're about to get into some Thanos cosplay in this episode.
What's great about this is it's the similar box size to the Weapon H and Hulk duo box that we got earlier. So this will be a 2x2 base with a single base figure, and I mean that's just more bang for your buck. So it's a pretty solid little set there. Also, we do see the Plastic Man. We've already seen what Plastic Man kind of does. We've already gone over that because he was one of the mail-away figures. But his box is, I'll say,
big.
75% larger than the normal box?
I don't know why it's
quite
so
a
much
bit larger.
bigger. Yeah.
To fit the mailbox, I guess. I don't know.
I mean, but I would have just smashed it in, the top type of deal.
Just jam it all in there. He's plastic. He can handle it.
That's true. I mean, he is plasticky man. That's his thing, right? We also get to see a really cool sneak peek at a Fantastic Four booster that's on the counter. Don't know why that's there. It makes me think somebody owns these somewhere, period, right? Open those. Open them now. Please, I'm begging you, open them now. Unless you're not allowed to, which is cool. It's fine.
Calder.
Soon. I don't know if you've made that a GIF yet, where I do a little finger wave. But anyways, yeah, and they have a master mold too. I'm like, who are you? Who is this person? Who's got these things? I really don't understand how some people get this product. How does it appear? How do certain countries just somehow get it before other people? I don't. WizKids, what is your distribution? What is all of this happening? How did they get this before something else happened? Who didn't cross an I or dot a T? You know what I mean?
Clearly,
who did their job
they're
wrong?
Not allowed to open and share because otherwise they would have.
Right.
But it's just very strange.
So they just posted a picture.
Yeah, it's very strange that they're like.
Well, I mean, the inner circle knows what they do, but we don't.
Yeah.
Yep.
Clearly.
What's in the box? What's in the box? To poorly quote. Anyways, so yeah, that's that. I don't want to spend too much time on that because there's just not much else to do. So WizKids apparently did some kind of live, they do that event for Gamma, and they show, hey, dealers, check out all the stuff we're going to be releasing in the next year. You should give us money. You should carry our product. A pretty simple thing. Tons of companies do this where it's this is what we have down the pipeline. This is why you think you should buy it. This is why we think players are going to want to buy it, et cetera, et cetera. It's like a pitch to stores and why your product is good and all that jazz, right? It's like a toy fair type deal.
Yeah, 75% of their stuff is D&D and board games, and then there's a small little fraction of their slideshow that happens to be, ooh, what's that? The best selling miniatures game on the entire market? A small thing called Heroclix. Yeah.
Little thing. So, real quick, we have a Avengers. It's all Empyre, which is the Avengers Fantastic Four Empyre set. So, we get to see the starter, which is going to include a Human Torch, an Invisible Girl, the Captain Marvel with the Ronin hammer, a Spider-Man and a Wolverine in the cool blue costumes. So, it's sort of a Fantastic Four, nifty little starter. We also get to see a Jean Grey and a Storm. showing that the X-Men are also there. I don't know if we've seen the box art before. It's pretty bad. It's just blue Spider-Man and then blue Wolverine.
Yeah.
Doesn't look amazing, but it's there. We also get to see some more figures in the starter, like a Rogue and a Magneto and some other stuff that's kind of hard to make out.
I think
we get to see the Captain America
potentially
again.
the Skrull X-Men, the X-Men Super Skrull in there, and Taskmaster.
Yeah.
Not
Looking real
entirely
dark,
sure if
but
what's
yeah.
on that, if what's on the board there is what's actually in there, but I assume so. But the MSRP for that's at 40, which is what their standard, their super deluxe starter sets have been going for lately.
Next up, I believe these ones are for sure new. We get to see a Rogue, a Venom Rogue. Looks pretty neat and gross at the same time, like most Venom sculpts do. And we get to see a Wolverine Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. What do you think about that, Simeon?
Yeah. So what's really fun about this guy, and I'm pretty sure this is the correct one that I'm thinking of, maybe I'm not, but this is like Wolverine has throughout the years had multiple bouts of amnesia, and so this is one of the Wolverines that forgot he had actual built-in claws, and for whatever reason joined S.H.I.E.L.D., became like a soldier in some war, and somebody like was like, hey, put on these gloves, and so his gloves like had retractable claws. But he teamed up with Captain America in this outfit at one point. And I'm not sure if I'm not sure if this is the actual one that I'm thinking of, but his weird gauntlets lead me to believe this is the one. And like at one point in the comics, when he's like using these, he's like, "Oh, these claws are actually pretty nice." And it's like,
that's funny.
You got them built into your skeletal structure, but it's whatever.
You big forgetful dummy.
Yeah.
What's with your brain? Why is your brain pea soup in
scrambled.
there? Yeah, it's just messed up. Oh man, isn't that there's an X-Men animated episode about him and Captain America. It's like during World War II, and he's like, Captain America, he was a real hero, and he's like looking at like Steve's grave or something. And you're like, oh, I guess Captain America's dead in this world. Cool, thanks. Yeah, or maybe not. But no, he is. Like that was actually a pretty cool episode of X-Men. But yeah, he had like the pop-on claws, and they used them to like climb a mountain. And I'm like, man, you've got those, dude. We also get to see. We already saw a few of these, like Superior Doom, Deadpool with Jeff the Land Shark, Ultron, the Hulkling, and the Captain America, and like the cool armor. We also get to see Beast as like Sorcerer Supreme or something. Yeah, it's pretty
looks
cool.
like they're really hammering out some alternate like styled figures, which is cool because man, what we don't need right now is yet another random just plain Beast. So it's cool that they're giving him at least something.
We get a look at a S.H.I.E.L.D. Human Torch, which is hopefully Jim Hammond with a flame on and then not being bad and not having flight like he is in the F Fufo set. We also get to see an all clear Sue Storm figure, which shares the same sculpt as the other Sue Storm, which is all right. The captains and sidekicks, we get to see a new Wasp, which is a black and gold Wasp. We get to see a Pybok or Super Skrull or some dude holding a little book.
Something or other, yeah.
We get to see a Skrull Queen, and we also get to see Photon, I assume, with a wrench and some neat stuff. And then probably the coolest one for the captains and sidekicks, and that's going to be Colossus with the magic sword. And is that goatee? Does he have a goatee? I assume it's a goatee like Colossus, which is a great look. Yeah,
the
buddy.
Soul Sword or whatever.
But not bald. Goatee, but not bald Colossus, which is the best look. My personal favorite. I don't like bald Colossus. Take that as you will. But
being
exactly right. Like there's just too much shine, and it's like it really adds to the whole. I can see my reflection in your head, like because you can, like it's just bad. No, but what I'm most excited for, and didn't know this existed, didn't know this was a thing, but Thanos is Captain America, which is just Thanos wearing Captain America's costume and having his shield, but he also still has the Infinity Gauntlet. And it just looks really weird, man. It's like, who thought that was a good idea in comics? Why does this exist? Like, Why? But it exists, and I'm gonna have to get it for the Captain America collection, and it'll stand out. It'll look different, so that's cool.
Let's see.
One thing that does worry me
Who
about
thought
this set a
this
little
was
bit, though.
needed to be a thing was
Oh yeah, let's
Joshua
double-check.
Williamson is the writer of What If Infinity #1. Oh,
What
sorry.
if
What If
Infinity?
Infinity?
All right, well,
Thanos,
Joshua
Volume 1.
Williamson. I'm gonna read that, and if it sucks, which I assume it will, because it looks like a bad idea, then you're on my kill list. No, you're not on my kill list. I don't have time for that. I'm too busy. No time to waste on you comic artists.
Do you want the
comic
synopsis?
story writers. Yeah, give me that quick synopsis, Simeon. I gotta waste my important time.
What if Thanos joined the Avengers?
Wow. What amazing synopsis. I'm glad I didn't read it.
It was in the
Wow,
middle
amazing.
of Infinity, so it's clearly when like the Earth is going through the what do they call them? Not the collisions. When like Earth is slamming into an alternate Earth constantly. It's clearly around that time in Infinity when that happens.
Seems like it's some kind of crisis on multiple, potentially
Yes.
infinite Earth,
Almost infinite.
but not though. But
Yeah,
not.
It really does seem like it was that. And then Battleworld happened and everything got reset. Wow, what an idea. Good job, Marvel.
Who would have come up with that? That's pretty original, though. I
Jonathan
like
Hickman, that's who came up with it.
it. Oh,
At least on the Marvel side.
Right.
Yeah, this I know it sounds like we're bagging on it, but I love the fact that this set looks like there's a lot of what if kind of characters. So
Oh, yeah. No,
at least
I
alternate
like it.
versions. So I don't remember when Carol Danvers had the ultimate weapon, or like Ronan's hammer, whatever you want to call it, the
it is the
ultimate
ultimate
accuser,
weapon.
whatever.
You're right, yeah.
I don't remember when that happened, but I think that weapon is underrated or underrepresented in Heroclix for sure. Thanos holding the Cap shield, being dressed as Cap, is just really fun. It's not likely
is.
that we'll ever get that again. That's cool.
No.
Hopefully powers won't be benched for this set, and we'll have like fully powered versions of these things. The Super Skrull X-Men isn't necessarily something that we've never had, but it's just really cool to have it back in modern. But like Beast as Sorcerer Supreme, Hulkling with his sword, that's really cool. There's a lot of like really interesting sculpts in this set, and I hope they just knock it out of the park, because
Yeah.
no,
it's great. Like, and it's kind of what you think is like, how many normal Iron Mans, well, I guess maybe Iron Man's, but like how many normal like Wolverine, Cyclops, Captain America, whatever, like how many normal versions of those characters do I have? Tons of normal versions. Like, yeah, okay, we get it. He shoots lasers out of his eyes. Cool. He's got claws. He's got blaze claws, fangs. Neat. Thanks a lot. Cool. But now they're going to give us some more unique and interesting ones. You know, like, that's what I really appreciate. You know, it makes the shelf pop. It makes it look different. Because now it's like, I can have my Skrull Captain America, my Cap Wolf Captain America, you know, Rajez, Ice Cap, all these weird ones, you know, and I can have Gauntlet Cap and Thanos Cap with the Gauntlet on a team, which is fun, you know. So like, I just like playing weird alternate teams like that. You can have tons of fun like that. It's pretty cool, and I really appreciate that. I am a little worried though when it says captains and sidekicks. Captain America isn't in the picture. And I'm like, all right, guys, you got one job. You have one job. If Captain America is not a captain in this set, I will actually try to track you down and kill you. Like, this is not a threat; it is a promise. All right.
I feel like
you have one job.
He's
It's for
for sure
some
in
reason.
the set.
He is.
I feel like,
But if he's
he'll
not
give
a captain,
the Superman captain treatment, where he'll be like, "Hey, you kids, you're fighting now. Here's some toughness from good old Cap."
wow, you think he's going to give out a lesser power than that alien who shows us that humans don't have the potential to save themselves? Shut up. Get off my show right now.
I think that's an
I'm
absolute chance. No, this set is slated for September 2021.
Yep.
It's still sticking to the 149 and 90 cents MSRP, not 99 cents. Yep. So they're cutting you a break on that 9 cents there. But yeah, it's same price mark. I think the coolest thing about this set, and I don't think anyone will disagree on this front, is that, DC's never truly had this problem as far as I know, but we're finally getting X-Men, Avengers. I mean, of course, Fantastic Four just came back, but we're finally getting like the separate properties all in one set, which is cool because that means if they don't have to split the year between like, all right, here's our Avengers set, here's our X-Men set, here's our one-off Marvel set. If they can combine the sets, that's going to allow them, in my opinion, way more room to like do some really interesting stuff between sets. So if they don't have to worry like, all right, we really got to fit X-Men set in here somewhere, what's going to be the like Krakoan revival, blah, blah, blah kind of thing. If they can just combine sets and have those sets like come out at the same time, it'll give them way more room to actually like grow the Marvel side. Sadly, DC's probably still stuck with one set per year, but I mean, that's on DC. Write a petition. Say, hey, DC, let WizKids make more sets. I don't know what the problem is, but it's clearly not on WizKids' side. It's not like WizKids is like, we want less money. Please let us make.
Yeah, I don't think any company
DC.
is like, let's do less money, please. Could we get less money? Like,
yeah.
No, I don't think that's going to be a business thing we can keep going for a long time. It's not very sustainable practice we can implement.
But no, that's Empyre.
It's Empyre. Hey, and that's going to wrap up our news, which I'm excited because we have a bunch of questions to go ahead and talk about this week. So,
but wait,
Simeon.
That won't wrap up our news. Calder.
What do you mean? What do you mean? What do you mean? Oh yeah,
that's the old wire coming in. It looks like there's a in-person event happening in Olympia, Washington. I don't know where that is, but it's at least 20 hours away from me.
Well, it's in Washington.
That's very true.
I told you that.
So, from the Post, and this is as yet to be updated, so follow the Eaglecast Heroclix podcast discussion group for more updates, I guess. But Team Sasquatch presents Clix Camp 2021. So this is Clix Camp, sponsored by Gongai. This is going to take place July 9th and July 10th. So July 9th is going to be Friday night. They will be having a modern age common, uncommon, rare win-a-map. So it's similar to Pauper, but with rares allowed, and there's no exclusion on primes. So very interesting event. It's going to be a win-a-map with the Majestic's Temple of the Idol map up for grabs. And then July 10th is going to be the Saturday with a modern age win-a-case. First place gets a case of the new X-Men Rise and Fall set. And then both days you can take part in Battle Royals using the new X-Men set. So on Friday, it's going to be a $10 entry, 300-point Modern Age, Common, Uncommon, Rare only, no base larger than a 2x1, so peanut bases. Then Temple of the Idol map is up for grabs and additional prizing to be announced. Saturday is going to be the Win-a-Case, $20 entry, 300-point Modern Age. First place gets a case of X-Men Rise and Fall. Prizing to the top 4, full prizing breakdown to be announced. So, of course, it's going to depend on how many entries. And then Battle Royales throughout the weekend are going to be X-Men Rise and Fall for $12. And then last but not least, because this isn't being hosted at a normal venue, Calder. It's very interesting. No. It's sponsored by Gongai, but it's not hosted at Gongai. So to make it a true Pacific Northwest experience, we will also be having overnight camping and dinner will be provided on Saturday night. So that's basically it as far as what we know right now. But from how it sounds, it's going to be a show up Friday, camp Friday night, play Saturday, have a good time Saturday, camp Saturday night, and then drive home Sunday. For me, since it's a 20-hour drive, and I've been meaning to go to Washington to visit their beautiful forests and stuff, maybe see a Sasquatch of my own to take pictures, blurry pictures of. I'm actually very tempted to try this. I'm very tempted to attempt this drive. I don't care if I win. It's more about the drive and the trip for me, but it's very tempting. And if you're in anywhere in like the Pacific Northwest or Canada, and Olympia, Washington is not too far from you, it sounds like it's going to be a fun time. It's going to be hosted outdoors. So not only are you camping outdoors, you're also probably playing outdoors.
I thought it rained a lot over there. Wasn't that like the thing? It rains a lot. You want to be outdoors in the Pacific Northwest?
What are you afraid of your fingers getting wet? You're afraid
I mean,
you don't have laminated maps?
Wow. No, I don't. Believe it or not.
These sweet ROC maps I have are neoprene, Calder. Cannot be destroyed by water. I tried.
I don't want to know how you tried. I'm going to skip this line of questioning. I've decided.
Yeah, you don't want to know what kind of liquid I put on ROC maps every day.
Yeah, I definitely want to skip this line of questioning. Anyways, yeah, it seems like a nifty event. I don't know if the outdoorsy and Heroclix player crowd overlaps that much, to be honest with you. So I think it's nifty they're doing it. I think you're pretty much the biggest outdoorsy type guy, Heroclix player I know.
Yeah, I mean, just last week we were talking about how I showed up to estates smelling like campfire. Yeah. So at least I wouldn't be like judged for smelling like campfire at this event.
Yeah,
so there's that.
It's the normal thing. I think it's a cool idea, taking the culture, I guess, of people that like to go camping, specifically in the Pacific Northwest. I've never been, but if that's like the main thing they do over there, then that's pretty neat. No, I think that's a really cool, like, best of both worlds type thing, and obviously you don't have to camp if you don't want to. So that's kind of neat. Like, yeah, that's fun. I like it. It's different. It's unique, and I think that's what we need. Stuff like that is really cool.
Yeah, they said there's some like B&Bs in the area. Of course, I'm not one to spend money. I would sleep in my car before I'd sleep at a bed and breakfast or.
Well, I mean, especially if you're driving that far, like.
Yeah. Plus, I'm pretty accustomed to sleeping in my car these days. Hard times.
Yeah, I'm also going to skip over that line of questioning as well.
Speaking of questioning.
Yeah. Hey. A good Simeon segue? Say it ain't so. I'm just kidding. Your segues are always mediocre to better.
They're always somewhere in the middle.
Hey, yeah, cool, man. We got a bunch of questions on our Discord, and if you want to support the show and be on our Discord and play Bad Samaritan every weekend like we've been doing, we did once for the first time, but we're going to keep doing it. You can go ahead and support us on Patreon. For as little as $1 a month, it'll get you entered into our Bad Samaritan tourneys on Discord. You'll get your videos on our YouTube early. And you'll get entered into a raffle every single month. Every single dollar that you donate per month is how many entries you get into the raffle. So $1 is 1 entry, $5 is 5 entries, and so on and so forth. So it's pretty cool. And you can get action tokens and all sorts of sweet stuff. We're about to come out with some really cool looking stickers and some pretty awesome looking action tokens that a Patreon member helped us make. So I'm really excited to get those out to everybody and get those designed. I mean, they're designed, but I mean, get them into physical things so they can be in your hands. Like, I think that must be really, really, really sweet. So definitely support us on Patreon. And yeah, let's go ahead and jump into some of these questions.
There are dozens of us. Dozens!
So, a couple of weird ones. That's just the way it is. Superfan Chance McCall says, what bird should be the mascot of the Dialects for Heroclix podcast? Simeon.
I went with the cassowary. So,
what is that? For those that don't know. Because I totally know what a cassowary is.
Yeah. This is not for Calder.
Yeah, how could I not? Else. Yeah.
So for those that don't know what a cassowary is, typically they're extremely shy birds found in deep forests. If you played Far Cry 3, I believe it is, you are intimately aware of what a cassowary is because it probably killed you more than once. So It's basically like an emu if you gave it a horn on its skull and then big claws for feet and made it like twice as territorial. So it's a big flightless bird. And I think this exemplifies, Dial H, because we might not fly the highest, but if you come down to our level, if you try and mess with us on our level, we will just, use our little cassowary feet and tear you apart. So just keep that in mind. People that are flying low.
Why does our level have to be low?
I don't know. I don't know.
What?
I just picked a bird. I think it's
Where are
cool.
we going
It
to
looks
that?
like a dinosaur. It's fun.
I can dig that. All right.
They
Cool.
eat
Cassowary.
fruit and probably
Dinosaur
small
bird.
animals. I don't know.
I'd assume so.
There's a
That
road
makes sense.
sign in Cairns, Queensland, Australia, where it says, be careful of speeding because you might hit a cassowary and die because it's a huge, dangerous bird.
Oh, yeah. Oh, it's one of those things where it's like if you hit it, it's bad for you, not so much the bird.
I mean, yeah, if you hit a turkey going 70, it's like hitting a bowling ball through your window. If you hit one of these, it's like
That's
half
true.
a cow.
So I'm about to mention a bird that my family also hit while going like 70, 80 miles an hour. And that is the Chinese ringneck pheasant is the bird that I said should be the bird for our show. It's South Dakota state bird. They're good for hunting. I quite enjoy pheasant hunting and stuff like that. One time, just to keep it on the hitting things with your car story, my family was going to state capital, good old Pierre in South Dakota. It's not Pierre. I don't know why we'd pee in the air. It'd be weird. But it's called Pierre. And we were driving up. Dad was going, I don't know, way too fast, obviously. And it just shot that pheasant straight through the window. It skirted along the top of the inner ceiling of the car and then cracked the back windshield. That's how fast we were going.
It's
Yeah,
like a bullet.
pretty wild. Pretty scary to be in the car when that happens. There's glass everywhere. You got to go to the hospital. Got in someone's eyes. It was not a fun experience. But yeah, that's the bird that I don't want to hit, and that's the Chinese ringneck pheasant, South Dakota state bird. Bird of the show. Aren't you having fun with this?
Pheasants
Awesome.
are,
Heroclix related
I will
talk.
say this, for anyone that's ever driven and like seen a pheasant, very unnerving to see like running alongside your car. Because out of the corner of your eye, it looks like a tiny little man running on like two legs with like a weird outfit on. And then you actually look at it and you're like, that's a bird. I'm silly.
Why
but
do
if
you
you
think
don't
that?
look at it and you only see it out of the corner of your eye, you're like, what was that? Was that a tiny
Jeez.
little man running alongside my car? And it's very
It was
possible.
like 2 feet, like a foot tall.
Yes. That's what I mean.
No wonder you need glasses. Good Lord, man. Ugh, oh my gosh. All right. Next up is what is the official IPA of Dial H for Heroclix? Simeon.
My peripheral vision's very bad. The official IPA.
I believe it.
These
I
are
believe
the
it.
two that I drink most often while recording. Everything Has Eyes out of Lincoln, Nebraska. That's the Cosmic Eyes Brewing. Everything Has Eyes and Unlock the Time Dragon. Both very good IPAs. And then Fairy Nectar out of technically La Vista. But
La Vista.
come on, La Vista. You're just west-south Omaha. You're not actually your own town. You're just west-south Omaha. If L Street passes through your quote-unquote city, you're part of Omaha, La Vista. Don't get a big head on your shoulders like Ralston did, or we'll take you over like we did to Ralston. Look at him now. Broke. Needing our help. Barely have a mayor.
I don't even want to stop you because this is kind of interesting. I'm not gonna lie. I like
very-
this
very,
Omaha
like-
anger.
I just have a big problem with all the small towns around Omaha pretending like they're a real town when I'm like, clearly you're
You've
just
been absorbed.
Omaha in like a smaller, like you're like, I'm not actually Omaha. I live in Ralston. It's like, that's great. So you live off of 72nd and L because that's still Omaha. Like, I don't care how much you pretend it's not. That's just Omaha. Like, you can put up a huge fence, and I'll be like, oh, that's a weird part of Omaha where they put up a big fence. And I'll keep saying it until you change it. Papillion, Bellevue, whatever that north one is that no one goes to because it's scary.
And people think I gatekeep this community? Are you serious?
I'm just gatekeeping my community. That's all. I want Omaha
Literally.
to be the entire state at some point.
Goodness gracious.
Scott Porter coming from Millard. Millard is just extra west Omaha, Scott.
Man, we're gonna fire
Extra
shots at Scotty
west.
P now. I even attempted to watch. I mean, I even tried to start watching Gina and George. So I was like, I felt bad. I didn't,
It's a good
watch
show.
it. And I was like, oh man, yeah, it is a good show.
Pretty good. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna finish it one of these days, soon. But I was like, you know what? We should support Scott. Does he really need our support? I don't know. Maybe he does. Maybe he doesn't. But like, it's like your friend. You want to support your bros. And I just realized all my Heroclix bros, they'll see the plays and stuff that I'm in. You're like, you know what? The least I could do, while Scotty P, is watch his show. Even though technically I have seen, Speed Racer, which is his chef's kiss best work.
I've also watched
no.
every season of Lucifer up until the ones that he's in. I don't think they're on Netflix yet, but
Yeah, I'm not going to watch that show. It, to be honest, looks lame. I'm going to skip the official IPA question. I didn't know what that was before the show started. And I asked Simeon. I'll be totally honest with that because I just kind of don't care. So I'm skipping it. Next up, have you ever had a frittata? I believe is what it says. And I said, no, I still don't know what that is, even though I know Simeon's explained it to me and I made fun of it before. I have no clue. I imagine it's some sort of taco thing. That's my guess.
Like a
or
quiche
quesadilla.
Casserole. It's like an egg casserole.
Oh, I was way wrong. I was way off.
But yeah, I just said, no, I like my eggs normal, which is like the normal egg cooked, not into, like, is a frittata literally just a bad omelet? That's my question to the listener.
So a quiche is like an egg brownie, right? It's like in a pan.
Yeah,
and
it's
all
like a
cooked all
poorly
weird.
cooked egg / omelet. And I enjoy a good omelet. Light, fluffy, full of
I
all
like
these
omelets.
random goodies inside. That's great. Is a frittata literally just a bigger quiche or a worse omelet? Because if that's the case, then why would I ever have that instead of an omelet? Strange.
Yeah, I'm gonna be real. Doesn't sound good. To be fair, you didn't try to make it sound appetizing, so I'll still just doesn't sound good.
I did
But I don't like quiche that much anyways. I believe my family would make we would call it egg bake, which is I guess basically just a quiche. But yeah, I associate it with High School Musical, and anything to be associated with that probably isn't good at all. So skipping that'll be our first round of Chance McCall questions, which have almost literally nothing to do with Heroclix. So now we'll go ahead. Bill asked, when WizKids is making a figure, a fan favorite figure or a unique figure, so a figure that you like, a character you like, do you think it's better for them to be comic accurate or better for them to be competitively viable? Simeon, what do you think?
So I said it's got to be a mixture.
So first of all, say like a figure you think WizKids would make that'd be like, oh, that's a figure they might not make again, or whatever, a fan favorite figure that you have.
I'll go with my expectations for Dakin, because that's a figure
Dakin.
that I don't see them making too many of in the future, and in the past they've made 2 from the same set. One was like an LE, one was the actual, one was like Dark Reign Dakin where he was pretending to be Wolverine, and the other one was just regular.
Oh yeah.
The reason
to be
why
fair, I really like that outfit.
Yeah, it's a cool outfit. The whole Dark Reign's pretty cool. The reason why I don't particularly care for either of those is not because they're not comic accurate, although they weren't giving out special powers and stuff and traits as easily back then as they do now. So take that with like a grain of salt, why those ones are slightly worse. But I really want my Dakin to have like charge. So like, what is he? He's like Wolverine. He's a little bit more methodical, but he's still like on the base. He's just like, he can go berserker rage mode. He's, he might think things through a little bit more than Wolverine does, but he can still like snap and go crazy. So I really want my Dakin to have like maybe a sidestep mastermind like that goes into Blades Claw's fangs with like a stop click. And I need that stop click in there because not only does he have like a very regenerative ability, but also in order to play a character in modern times, I need it to not just be removed from the field immediately. I need to be able to not get hit for 5 or 6 penetrating damage and then just like, well, I guess I can't play that character because I want to be able to field it. And so it doesn't necessarily need to be meta viable, but it definitely needs to be able to, I'm not even going to say like survive in the meta atmosphere. It just needs to be able to take a hit. And when you're giving like 45-point characters, 40-point characters, heck, look at the Wonder Woman starter. There's 30-point characters with stop clicks. When you're doing that for a 30-point character and then also giving them Wonder Woman team ability with super senses on that stop click, for 30 points, my Dakin needs to be able to survive a psychic blast for like 4 or 5. So it doesn't necessarily need to be meta viable, but it does need to be close. And I'd prefer comic accuracy. So if it's not meta viable, but it's at least really comic accurate, I'll still play it. But man, I just really like it to be a really good comic accurate character and also able to like let me get the one cool thing that it does to happen. If it's like, oh, Blades, but automatically makes like a roll of a 3 or higher into a 6 or something, whatever. I want to be able to do that once, just once.
All right, no, that's solid. I'm sort of the same thinking. I'm lucky. Cap gets made a lot. And we've had some that are just really, really accurate. So a good, well-rounded Captain Americas, they exist in the form of like the ABPI cap. If we get rid of the time gem, then it's like, okay, that's just a normal, good, well-rounded Steve Rogers. Same thing with the main set normal Captain America from Captain America and the Avengers is a really cool, just main set, comic accurate. Feels good. Impervious seems like a bit much for Captain America. I'll be honest with you. I think Impervious is just a bit much for like, yeah, if we just assume he's totally blocking that hit with the shield, sure. Then I'm like, it's fair. But I think like invulnerability is fine, and like a Cap should definitely not get invincible. But I mean, anyways, those are really good and comic accurate and really fun. Same thing with the starter set one from Captain America and the Avengers. It really feels like the 80s-ish to when Captain America comes back, and he's just rocking toughness, but he's got the follow-through where he throws his shield, catches it, moves up to you, punches you. Really cool idea. Feels very accurate. It flows and plays like how Captain America, how you want him to flow and play. So I really, really, really enjoy that. On the other hand, I do like playing in the competitive scene, and it feels less soul-sucking when I can play characters I really, really enjoy when I play competitively. That's why I was really thankful for EarthX Captain America, who at the time, now Micron and Atom do what I use him for a lot better for a lot less points, which sucks. But at the time, being at 12 for 3 was really sweet. Being able to +1 move, punch, the defend, the perplex, the teleporting power, and it all was super comic accurate to EarthX. His dial felt like it was telling his story throughout EarthX, and I really, really liked that. So as much as I like, being able to compete with my favorite figures in the meta, more importantly for me is just to feel the story come to life through that character's dial. So to me, it's comic accuracy for sure, especially if it's going to be one-off characters that, look, would I rather have like a Howard the Duck be meta, or would I rather have them be, comic accurate? Comic accurate, because we're not going to get another one for real long time, if ever, right? So like one-off characters like that, I'd say, make them comic accurate. They don't have to be meta. It's fine.
Yeah.
So that was Bill's question.
Age, you can always make a figure stick around a little bit longer with certain tricks and stuff. So
yeah,
yeah,
totally correct. All right. Next up, let's go ahead and do another round of chance questions before we do some actual HeroClix questions. He says, "Is a hot dog a sandwich?" No, it's a hot dog.
Yeah, I said no, but it's closer to being a sandwich than a BLT is.
BLT is a sandwich, though.
Oh, that's funny.
Because it's just got bacon. No,
it's because a BLT is literally just toppings. Like if I said,
I will agree with that.
Ketchup, mustard, pickle sandwich, you'd be like, that's disgusting. That's just toppings, and I would say yes.
It's just toppings.
Correct. It's just toppings. I took off a different sandwich. It's like if I was at a barbecue and I was like, oh man, I ran out of burgers. I hope no one notices.
Okay, Simeon,
and I could just slide bacon, lettuce, and tomato on the sandwich, and they'll think it's a real thing.
It's funny because like it sounds appetizing, like BLT. It's for some reason those letters together just kind of slap. I don't know why, but they sound real good. And you're just like, I feel hungry and empty because like it's just bacon is your main meat of the sandwich. And you're like, lame. So yeah, no, I will agree that.
I'm glad I turned this hot dog sandwich.
You really did into BLT talk somehow.
Question.
Yeah.
But no, it's a hot dog is a hot dog. That's it.
Yes, yeah, for sure. I accidentally skipped the first question, which is, what comic book character would you want to be your wingman?
So Wolverine had a pretty solid wingman at the bar multiple times, and that was good old Kurt Wagner. So yeah, probably him. Just because, I mean, he can like zip and zap you out of trouble if you need be, and he's cool. He's got that German accent, so like. You know, people be like, "Oh, where's your friend from?" And I'll be like, "I don't know. He's blue. Did you not realize that? He's blue. His entire body."
Hey, he wears that little wristwatch thing sometimes, where it's like he's not blue. You know,
I'd be like,
cut him.
He's a mutant. Stay away. No, I've honestly never had a wingman at a bar. So, I mean, just in general, I've never had a wingman, to be honest, so I don't really know what a good wingman would be, but
fair, right? I'm more basing this on like movie tropes and stuff because I've never had one either. I don't need one. I speak for myself, and I'm a very outgoing person. I don't need someone to do that for me. And normally when I show up at a party, I'll be the life of the party pretty quickly.
Not going places. Me too. I'm also outgoing.
Nice. It's safe, Simeon. Anyways, I went with Lamar Hoskins, Battlestar. He seemed like just a good wingman and like just a really good person. Not only in the Falcon Winter Soldier show, but like in the Captain America comics when he's like Battlestar and Bucky and all that stuff. He's like a pretty cool dude. You know, he's one of the first guys to team up with Captain America after U.S. Agent, after John Walker becomes the U.S. Agent in comics, and he's like, I'm gonna go do my own thing. And he's like, cool, I'm going to team up with like Falcon and Nomad and Cap and go on adventures. And it's it's actually pretty fun. So I would say Battlestar would be a really solid Nomad. It would be a really solid wingman.
Not a great fall guy though. Kind of bad at that part.
That's mean. Rude. Not nice. Anyways, what do you think is stopping WizKids from hiring actual play designers? Actually, you worded it differently, but this is what I have written down. Let me see if I can. It was not so much in the form of a question how it was worded.
Yeah, it's just kind of a statement.
Let's go ahead.
Why doesn't WizKids just offer positions for play design so their game isn't trash? And there's no question mark in there, so it was just a statement. I just put yes. I don't know what it's like at WizKids Central. My goal for WizKids is that at some point they sell enough miniatures and board games and whatever to have just endless supplies of like interns and actual workers, hopefully paid interns and actual workers and stuff, so they can actually, you know, have like dedicated teams to every aspect of Heroclix, and then also design teams, because you don't need a designer like a game designer to balance the D&D miniatures or the Pathfinder miniatures. You just need a good like sculptor and a guy that makes the ideas. Like, oh, I want this goat man holding a spear, and then some graphic designer guy's like, all right, I'll get you a goat man holding a spear. But when it comes to like the board game side and Heroclix especially, it'd be great if we had like a full all hands on deck kind of situation, I guess.
Yeah, man. I don't know. Like, people would play design their game for free. And obviously there's some kind of communication in the community to how things work for when they're going to get released. We saw that with the Teen Titans map in Rebirth. Like, clearly they talk with somebody in the game, but I don't know why they don't. Either they're like not playtesting to their fullest because like, oh, this piece is going to be great for this team and I can totally abuse it before everybody else can. I don't know. I'm not accusing anybody because I wouldn't even know any name to accuse. But I don't know why they don't play design. It seems anyway. Let's not though. Let's not though.
But you know,
hey, check this out. Let's not though.
If you listen,
yeah,
you know exactly.
I doubt it. I don't think so. Anyways, yeah, I mean, there's just a lot of small things where it's like, well, if you would have just played that a little bit, or honestly, had someone double check your spelling and your grammatical errors when you make cards, like, I don't know, it seems like they're rushing these sets, and I'd be like, hey, if we only get 2 or 3 sets a year, that's fine. But
yeah,
like,
I think the most telling thing that I've ever had is when we had Mr. Gray Nachos on, Mr. Matt Gray Nachos. He's a
nice guy. I don't know why you did that. Why you got to do him like that?
I'm just trying to enunciate his name. He never corrected me, so.
Oh, goodness gracious.
He said they should just fire their quality assurance dude, their quality tester dude. And I was like, that's a pretty bold from someone that's actually, you know, quote unquote, worked hand in hand with WizKids on designing a figure. That's some, I don't know, the opposite of high praise, whatever that would be. Some low
criticism
expectations. I don't know, but yeah, like if clearly he's got a better idea of the inner workings of Heroclix than I do because he helped design a figure.
Yeah,
and if he's saying that, then it's like, yeah, it's not wrong. And then you just got to look at, like, you know, poor Isaac Arnold Berkowitz's figure, where they were like, let's not even bother changing it in the set where we are changing a core a core thing that will malfunction in this figure. We won't even bother changing the figure before we fix like the rule. So like he can't push on to Click 2, which would be really cool if he could do. And maybe that was their part of balancing where they didn't want him to, but I don't know. He's just, and I'm talking about the Red Sun Lex here.
Right.
He's just really hard to play. It would take a very skilled person to make that piece work at full potential now. And I don't think that's what they had in mind when they designed it. So it looks very much on paper like it was designed to be able to push to Click 2, but who knows?
Yeah, man. It really sucks because you would think it would at least be cool to have the trait they gave Immortal Hulk, right? The deal.
Yeah. When he's given a power action, you can give him one unavoidable. Yeah. That would make a lot of sense. That would make a ton of sense to be able to do that.
Is now a poor time to make a meta Des Patelis. Look, personally, dude, just make a lantern set. That's all I want from DC right now, from WizKids, is a lantern set. Yeah, that's what I want, man. I just want a lantern set. Cool.
I think Legacy card Des Patelis, honestly, I think it's a solid figure still. I don't think it's broken. I don't think it makes it to every team, but I think it's still a very solid, very viable figure. So if you don't know, Des Patelis was a tiny size figure, red lantern core, so he had penetrating poison,
yellow lantern core
defense. Was it yellow?
Yeah, he's yellow.
Oh. But he did have penetrating poison, right?
Did, yeah, for whatever reason.
Yellow Lantern
Ace and
Cooler.
After 4.
With penetrating poison for whatever reason. It was because he was like a virus or whatever. But he was a tiny sized character with like a 20 defense. And the biggest thing was he'd follow you so you could move away. I don't even think he stopped you from breaking away, but then he would just be placed next to you at the end of your movement. So it became a very, like, you have to deal with this dude. I think in the current competitive, there might be enough invincible. And there's definitely enough stat modifiers where a 20 isn't like, or even a 21 isn't that crazy to hit. Like in 2019, we routinely had 14 attack kind of stuff going on. So no, I don't think, even if you just took Despotellus from his old dial and added him into modern, I don't think he's broken. He's definitely not something I would play casually, but I don't think he's going to like shift the meta to like a Despotellus only kind of thing. I don't know how you would remake him without just literally making him the exact same though.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Like, is he a figure you need to remake type of deal, you know? Like, what would we do that's so different, you know? His power set is, you know, making people sick. Like, it's not that interesting. Number one. Number two,
Maybe that's what he was getting to. Would this be poor timing coming out of like 2020?
Oh, I assume so, right? Because I mean, like, his special speed is the sickness is already inside you. His special attack is a
I was reading this as
fear.
like, would it be a poor timing for Heroclix, not like as the world
like
turns,
it's in
burns.
Poor taste type of deal.
Yeah.
I think is what he's going for.
Now I understand.
That probably is
Possibly poor timing.
Like, it's remember what I said when I did the whole.
Right
anyways, I don't want to talk about any of that. It's lame. But like, it's kind of like what I said when they redid the Human Torch Legacy card. His willpower or something was called the Corona Flame, and they changed it to like the Supernova Flame.
Right.
I think it's I think it's so funny they did that.
They got rid of. Yeah, so it'll be a couple years before Lantern Virus Man becomes Clix again.
Yeah. But all right, and then let's end this with some actual more HeroClix questions. HC Cosmic on Twitter, he goes to say, what is your favorite team you've ever built? This is really tough because, I mean, when you're a HeroClix player, you make a lot of teams, and you really, you know, there's ones that you're just like, man, I love playing that team at the time. If I could play it again, I'd play it forever, you know, type of deal. So I decided to go with sort of a recent one that fits like the classic way I would build teams, and this was just a fun team to play. But last year for the Indianapolis event I went to, there was a Pauper tournament. I think I ended up somehow getting top 4, which is pretty cool. And I played Living Legend Captain Americas, and this is just, you know, when I first started playing the game, I was really mad because started playing at a time where there weren't any boosters on the shelves that had Captain America in them. I started playing around Invincible, Iron Man. I mean, I started playing around the movie set, right? So I got an Iron Man figure from there. I got Iron Man from Iron Man 3. There was Iron Man and the Invincible Iron Man. I'm like, I'm getting too many freaking Iron Mans. Where's my Steve Rogers? And I was mad because all I had was like the starter set First Avenger Captain America. So I specifically sought out, you know, going to like miniature websites and stuff, buying every Captain America I could see because I just wanted to play Captain America. That's all I wanted to do. So, you know, I play like US Agent, Captain America, Bucky, whatever, teams like that, which are really fun. And now, in a more modern sense, I played the Shifting Focus Captain America, one of those, the Masters of Evil starter set 50-point Captain America, the Captain from Captain America and the Avengers, and then Captain America from Captain America and the Avengers. And I don't remember if I could fit the starter set one on there or not, but I'm pretty sure I had the starter set Captain America from Captain America and the Avengers also on that team. And then to round it out, I had Happy Hogan and an Aim Red. And it was just one of my favorite teams that I'd ever played. It was awesome. I just super enjoyed it. I got to play a bunch of different Captain Americas. You know, I had some Living Legend figures. The Captain is fun. All that fun stuff. Like, everybody had a 20 defense because the Captain America, the Masters of Evil one, gives everybody adjacent friendly characters +1 defense, just like statically. And then the 75 points shifting focus, which is like the weird photon energy shield thing, gives them +1 defense against range combat attacks, which is really cool. So, or that Captain America could straight up just block a line of fire side, which is really sweet too. So
yeah, without dropping like
fun
a barrier, team. So it's like blocking without your opponent being able to blast through it, kind of thing.
Exactly. That's why it was good. Yeah, that was probably one of my favorite teams I've ever built. Resonates with how I used to build teams. It's a good time.
So I've got 2 teams that I've like thoroughly enjoyed to the point where I remember them quite vividly. The first, and I've only been able to run this twice, but it was a 1,000-point Asgardians team. So before you're like, oh wow, what did he have? Thor, Loki, Odin, yada yada. It was 700 points of the Serpent. So, calm yourselves. It was Serpent and Friends was the team. But man, I loved playing the Serpent on his top dial with the fear dial and everything. But then I had the movie Odin, who's actually Loki, that gives +1 for Asgardians that have hit this game. So they just automatically get, if after they hit, they automatically get a +1 attack for the rest of the game. I had Beta Ray Bill at 125. I had Thor Odinson, the title character. I had a couple like random different things that were like fit in there. And I think there was somebody with like a perplex or a double perplex, but I can't remember exactly. But the main thing is Thor Odinson title character can move up, and then I think it's a -1 to yank anyone with the Asgardian keyword next to him. So he'd move up, I'd yank the Serpent next to him, and then top dial Serpent has running shot pulse wave, which used to be way more fearsome because he had like a 13 for 7 or something.
Maybe.
So it's still really good because he could running shot pulse wave, and I always pulse waved multiple targets because then you get to click your fear dial for every hit opposing character. So I would try and find like a grouped up area, and he's got a decent range. I think it's like 7 or 8, maybe higher. I can't remember exactly off the top of my head, but I would find like the biggest group of opposing characters I could, move Thor however far up I needed, call in Serpent, quote unquote call in Serpent with a -1, and Thor would take an unavoidable usually, but the Serpent would get to pulse wave, crank his fear dial up to where he could use any action as a free action. And so then he would free action, pulse wave, crank it up again to where he could do 2 actions as free actions that turn. And so this is prior to like rule change. I would then pulse wave a 3rd time, get his like fear dial, like basically turn 1, or I mean, as soon as my opponent moved out of their starting area, I would get the fear dial on the Serpent cranked all the way up to top, and also have like high enough defense that I didn't really have to worry about him getting knocked down too low. But then like the following turn, it'd be like, I shoot you for 7. I shoot you for 7. These are all free actions, that kind of thing. I don't know how it translates to 2021 rules, but I'd really like to play it again just to see like, like you can't use this action twice. You have to use, so I could use running shot. I could use a static range. I could use pulse wave. And that's pretty much it. Like, those are like 3 free things. And then as far as just like a more normal team goes, is I really love mind control teams, and I ran into this rut where mind control only gets you so far. Like at a certain point, if your opponent's only playing 1 mind control piece, then you're kind of sunk. But I got around that with, so I had I think it was 400 points of just like mind control tech, and this was like Xavier, who can mind control everyone within a certain like range, but he can only move them, he can't attack with them. And then I had a bunch of the Orion females from the original Trek set, which they can do a free action to -1 the defense. It's like a seduction token, so for every seduction token the opposing character has, they minus defense 1 when Orion female targets them with mind control. So with 3 Orion females in a single turn, I could drop defense by 3, and then Orion females could each mind control with a -3 to their defense, which was pretty solid. But because I would end up always getting stuck against a team where they had like one big character, or I'd get stuck with like, they've only got 2 characters left and I still needed to deal damage, I threw on the AI Tigra at one point, and it was hilarious because the AI Tigra chase has Flurry. It's the 3rd virtue of life, tenacity. Flurry, once per turn when Tigra's attack roll has a 3, after resolutions, friendly characters can use Charge and Blades Claw's Fangs this turn. And you will never know the pure joy that I experienced when Charles Xavier in his wheelchair charged Blades on a character and rolled a 6 for Blades. It was like murder ball,
awesome.
But he had razors on his wheels. It was, I don't even know. It was just like the most ridiculous kind of, and I can essentially, with as much mind control as I had packed on the team, I can essentially like position opposing characters however I need them. So it doesn't even matter that Tigra doesn't have charge. I can pretty much bring opposing characters to her and then flurry Blades. And all I need is 1/3 with 2 attacks. So, there's quite a few chances for a 3. And, I've got a few probs on it and stuff like that just in case. But yeah, I think mind control on its own is just one of my favorite powers. And then mind control shenanigans, where I can take an opposing character from like way down in their starting area and just move them all the way over to like my little area that I've picked out, and then have Tigra give everyone charged blades, and then all of a sudden you've got Professor X wheeling his way over, blades in you. You've got Orion females doing their whole 10 for 1, except they get to roll blades. It's pretty fun. And I'm sure there's enough new mind control stuff out there that'll be a team that I keep using in the future.
Okay. Yeah, dude, right on. I was never like a mind control team fan. That was never a thing that I liked doing. But I know a lot of people did dig the mind control. Anyways, HT Cosmic also asks, what's our favorite, what's our personal favorite YouTube video we ever made for our channel?
Yeah.
This is a fun one. We've done a lot. So for those of you that are listening, I know a lot of you guys aren't subscribed, and this is where I pitched you our YouTube channel. We talked a lot about Tabletop Simulator. We play that every single week. We also do like a lot of fun in-person games. I shouldn't say a lot. We've done like 3 in-person games, but each one is just really cool. So we did Extreme Rules, which was really sweet. That was our wrestling personas and everything with all the challenges in between. We did our Heroclix Hot Ones, where we had hot wings in between each round, and we got to see our brains melt in attempts to play a game of Heroclix during that. And we did our Clix Busters, which I think we could do more of, honestly, for Krakoan Revival, which is pretty fun. We've done stuff like that. Simeon does all the really cool sculpt swap videos, where he does some painting and he does some super fast time going by. Obviously, there are the like unboxing videos, which really aren't necessarily fun to make, but those are videos that every YouTuber, I guess, in Heroclix kind of has to make. They're sort of forced to. Like, it just, for some reason, that's just a video a lot of people like, which I get it. You want to see what you pull. And we just sort of have to do it. Got to whore ourselves out for views because, I mean, it's unboxings. And I don't necessarily love doing them. I try to make them as interesting as possible with trying to film a skit or something in front of them. And then, also there's videos where I just do skits, kind of whatever feels funny at the time, to be honest. I did like Letterkenny one, the pitch meeting is obviously a big favorite for a lot of people. But Simeon, what is one of your favorite YouTube videos that we have on our channel?
Since I've only truly participated in like a handful of them, it's usually Kalder, and he does like all of his own skit making and everything like that. But as far as favorite YouTube videos that I've been a part of, one of my favorites, well, a few of my favorites are whenever we had Devin on with our Thursday Throwdown to like kind of have him play a boss battle thing. Those were really fun. The one where he brings what was it? It wasn't Siri. It was Google, like the Google autonomous
Google Home
destruction
or whatever.
Yeah. Devin plus Google was pretty frightening when he first started.
It was funny.
Implementing it. That's one of my favorites. I think Hot Ones has to be my favorite because it's so simple in premise, but in practice, it's one of the most painful experiences I've ever put myself through. And then I do have to shout out Extreme Rules because nothing in Dial H has made me laugh more than going back through Extreme Rules and painstakingly editing it out. And like there was just so many bits, like it ended up being way longer than I wanted it to be, but there were so many things that I was like, I have to leave this in. And then there's just like so many like hilarious moments where I would just like sit there and just like laugh to myself for minutes while I was editing because
oh boy,
it was just, I don't know, there's like so much. The Rocky Road eating contest.
Man, that was
the fact that I had no idea what the challenges and punishments were, and I think the very first punishment that I pull is literally just like the big boot, and I look at the camera and I'm like, I get a big boot thrown at me, and I realized instantly like I probably should have read through these before we started filming.
Yeah, I didn't even think that. I didn't necessarily show them to you. I mean, like we went shopping together to buy all like the stuff, and like
true.
I asked you for like the boot and everything, and it was weird that you were never like, hey,
what
so
is
how
this
exactly
for?
is this all gonna
What is
work?
any of this for? Yeah,
like, and what is this gonna do in relation to me getting hurt?
But yeah, Extreme Rules just I would share more of the outtakes, like we've shared a few of them, but truly I think probably everything worth actually watching is like in Extreme Rules. I didn't edit that one as much as I should have. Hot Ones, on the other hand, there's legitimately like a 5-minute pause about 45 minutes into the game where inexplicably me and Calder like lock eyes and start chuckling, and then we just kind of laugh, and then we just stop and just kind of look at the table, and 5 minutes passes, not even like joking here, 5 minutes passes as we stare at the table, and then we continue with the game, and I had no recollection of that moment at all. I was like, I don't remember just blacking out and staring at the table for that long, but it was an extremely long amount of time, and I was like, I have to remove all of this. I think if I don't, that like someone might report me to like whatever the adult protective services is,
like psychos.
Yeah, it was it was bad.
It hurts my head thinking about the heat of the moment, you know. And I was just like, how melted, like my mouth had went from my mouth is on fire, oh my goodness, to like my brain is melted and I cannot make a comprehensive thought or word escape my mouth. Yeah, dude, Hot Ones it was fun to shoot. It was fun. The most fun video to shoot was definitely Extreme Rules. I think that was just a good time. The day we had planned and everything, whatever, like the games, the what else was it? The promos, tons of fun, super fun to shoot. It was cool to see everybody's characters and everything like that. Yeah, man, and Hot Ones was just like, that was a different experience entirely.
It really
because it was, man, it was, and it didn't get as much love as I was hoping it would have, which is fine. Same thing with Extreme Rules. 325 views is really awesome, and it has its own mini fan base, which I'm really, really proud of, and I really love that. So much that we're bringing these characters back again because they are really fun. They are really fun characters to do and play and act and everything. Hot Ones was like genuinely a video series where I thought, I could get Heroclix, like competitive Heroclix players on. We could do this. And we still might. Like, I understand that our YouTube channel moves a little slower than most. The last time we made a non-podcast, non-online like gameplay style video, like it's been 3 weeks since we've done a Sculpt Swap, 3 weeks since the Wonder Woman pitch meeting. And then it's just sort of been, I don't want to call them filler videos, but like, Thursday Throwdown, we're constantly pumping that out. So there's constant content in that regard. But then it's been 3 weeks. We're trying to do a live video every single month. So for the month of May, we did get the Clixbusters video. So I'm really excited that our Patreon met that goal, so that way we can now keep doing that, because those are really fun videos that I think Dial H is somewhat known for stepping out of the box and everything. So that being said, I'll easily answer the question, and I will say it's gotta be and actually it is tough. I want to be selfish and I want to say Heroclix Wonder Woman pitch meeting, but what I'm going to say instead is the very first video I ever made that was sort of a video like this, and that would be the first Heroclix players impressions video, because I wasn't making it to do anything else. I just thought, man, originally it started where I just wanted to make fun of Daniel Powell. I wanted to like do the Jim from The Office Dwight at Rocktober one year. I wanted to wear the overalls and have a fake beard and have the glasses, and just for one day I just wanted to like annoy Daniel Powell. And identity theft is not a joke, like that joke. That's all I wanted to do. I brought him with me and like my overalls and everything. I packed all of that to Rocktober, and then like the weekend went by, it passed, and I'm like, finally came to like the day I was gonna do it, and I'm like, this would be stupid. And then I just didn't do it, and I regretted it so much. I was like, no, I got to do it. And because I was at Rocktober and I got to see a lot of Heroclix players and kind of learn their mannerisms and everything, I was like, I could make fun of everybody. And I just started thinking about like Heroclix players I saw there and my own friends and stuff like that, where I'm just like, I'm just going to make a funny little video where it's like 1 to 2 seconds per impression and just say something dumb. So it's like all the Canadians, they just get like that's it. For like people I knew who just liked one figure and played it a bunch, I was just like, hella, like just made a dumb voice. Like some people, Heroclix players, trying to, sort of sound like Jay Solomon when he's shouting, which obviously it's terrible impression, but I think it's so funny. But yeah, that video probably had to be my most fun to make. And I edited it like on Snapchat and stuff. So yeah, it was a good time. That one, I definitely started to feel the love for like making videos, making fun of people. And like it was a year later before I made any kind of video like that again, where I made another impressions video. And I released it on Christmas. I don't know why I decided to do that for whatever reason, but I made it like a few weeks ago. And I'm like, man, I don't know when I want to post this. Do I want to post this at the end? And I decided, because me and Chris at the time were doing the 12 memes of Christmas, Clixmas or whatever we were doing. It was super low effort. All we did was post a Heroclix meme every day for 12 days. And I was like, you know what? To end it on Christmas, I'm going to do an impressions video. And like, I just put it on Facebook. It doesn't even exist on YouTube. Oh, so I can't even really say that, I guess. It's on YouTube now. I realized that she did this huge spiel for a video that isn't on YouTube.
We re-uploaded
it. Yeah. We re-uploaded it, so it's fine. That this long 5-minute spiel is just me saying I really had a fun time making that video. People really enjoyed it. People, watched it and shared it around and stuff. And I was just like, cool. It felt like, I don't know, just felt really nice that people thought it was funny. And then, obviously I made 2 more, and I think each one gets better. I think they're all pretty funny, and it blows my mind that there's enough Heroclix players that enough people know about and you can make fun of. And I think it's really cool. So that's my incredibly long-winded love for making impressions videos.
I will say
Simeon.
the nest gifs are the most requested nest gifs are for parts of those impression videos. So people
Sweet.
definitely like remember them. I mean, Jay Solomon remembered, I think it was part 2. So that was over a year ago. I don't even remember how long ago, but like well over a year ago, where literally all you say is roll for willpower, and then you look up and you're like, missed. And that was your impression of me, which no one should have remembered. No one like rightly should have remembered, but for some reason Jay Solomon remembered that when they changed willpower to having a roll for it. And so that's one that I have saved.
By the way,
for personal reasons.
Lucas Van Holland had the audacity to say, "Lol, that aged poorly." I'm like, I think it aged like fine wine, ladies and gentlemen. That's Chef's Kiss, in my opinion,
Yeah.
aged beautifully.
Name
big fan of
literally
that.
anyone else who called a power change like that
Changing,
far in
yeah.
advance. Man.
And then
That's-
I think I watched Impressions 3 like last week or whatever, and I say like, I think I'll perplex damage, and I'm like, now that maybe changed and
yeah.
aged poorly, maybe.
That does.
Yeah.
Because there's a few things that you can't do anymore.
Yeah.
Also, the fact that like some people in Impressions Part 3 just are no longer part of the community. They were for like a hot 2 months.
Yeah. I
and then
realized like
disappeared.
Topher and a few other like people is like, oh man, it's like nothing.
Yeah. That's fine though. It was fun when it happened. People still remember because people still say like, "Where's my Flash?" And that was a 1-day thing. So,
Oh man,
community
good
just
time.
doesn't forget, not ever.
You never forget. Okay, awesome. It's like, sorry, just to reiterate, yours was Hot Ones, right, Simeon?
Yeah,
I realize I really brought us.
Hot Ones is probably
Yeah.
the one that I enjoy the most on a rewatch. Extreme Rules was definitely the most fun to edit for me, and so for personal reasons, that's why.
Yeah, I will say I can watch Hot Ones more than Extreme Rules.
Yeah,
Personally, I can rewatch Hot Ones way more than I can because Extreme Rules, when I rewatch it, all I can think of like is things that we could have done better. You know?
Yeah, it's real rough being like the creator and being like, man, this and this, and you just like pick apart the thing the whole time. Same when I like listen to the podcast. I don't usually pick apart the podcast as much, but anytime I re-listen, I'm like, missed that part. Literally like some 2-second part where no one will hear it, but I hear it because I lived it or
stands
whatever.
out somehow. Yeah.
But
No, I got
Extreme Rules and Hot Ones. Luckily, we've got a man in charge of editing now, so he'll be in charge of fixing all of our blunders in the future.
But yeah, absolutely. So then with that, I'm going to extend a question to everybody else in the community here. Do you guys have a favorite video that we have on YouTube, whether that just be a fun gameplay moment from Thursday Throwdown, a skit video, or one of our live in-person videos? Let us know. Right into the show. You can message us on Facebook. You can message us on Twitter. If you are a part of our Patreon, you can do so on Discord. All that stuff. Just message us and tell us what your favorite YouTube video we have is. And if you haven't checked out our YouTube yet, do it. YouTube.com/DialH for Heroclix. Check us out. It's tons of fun. Guys, if you want to support the show, one of the best ways to do it, besides, joining our Patreon, straight up, giving us some money to really help us keep going and be able to do all sorts of cool giveaways and everything else and film really cool videos. Another way to do it is to leave us a review on iTunes, Spotify, wherever you can. That really helps show our podcast to people. Our podcast, since we're lucky, we're smart, we had Heroclix in the name. So if you type in Heroclix in Apple Podcasts or Spotify, we'll pop up right away, which is really sweet. So doing stuff like that really, really helps the show. So leave a review, 5 stars obviously helps the best, but be honest. If you don't think we're a 5-star show, that's okay. I'd rather have you be honest than be like, I guess I'll do a 5-star show, So be honest, leave a cool review. And we really appreciate all you guys that listen, all you guys that are huge fans of the show. It's really, really awesome. And yeah, it's just dope. So, and really quick, shout out to Clix on the Barbie, just started. I haven't been able to listen to their podcast. They have a YouTube channel, though. They are the Australian guys. One is Ben Jones. Chris is also on one of the podcasts. This is not Dialects Chris. This is maybe Chris Rizzi. I know he's living in Australia now. I don't know if he's on the show. Chris is a pretty common name, so I don't know. But, shout out to them. I would have thought they would have messaged us that they were making a podcast and maybe asked for a shout out. But I found him on Paradise Clix because he shared one of theirs. I'm like, that's really cool. So Clix on the Barbie. If you want to know what Heroclix is like down under, you can check it out. So yeah, that's all I have to say, guys.
Yeah. Just like classic wrestler HHH delivering a pedigree, I'm going to deliver the sign out. Cool Stuff Inc.com is our sponsor. It's the sponsor of Dialects, HH for Heroclix. And you can find cool stuff in stock every day. including the latest Heroclix singles and sealed products. So check them out at coolstuffinc.com.
Happy trails.
So if you're looking for emotional satisfaction, my advice to you is seek professional
Heroclix?
help.
Are you serious? Again? How many people even play this game? Like 100? Instant deadpan humor.
Over 6 people think I am funny.
It's the hard day's work. Not that you know anything about that. Which,
Absolute fools, it's not.
Witcher nonsense.
I'm gonna make Heroclix like that forever. Are you kidding me?
Hey Google, attack some.
Let's attack Simeon because he's a jerk.
Wow, wow, wow.